We did it.
Well, what? Bit tentative, but we probably have done it.
The European Super League is done. Ed Woodward has resigned. Andrea Agnelli has resigned. The corrupt owners who tried to pull this over our heads didn't work. Did not work. Excitement, adulation. Oh my God.
This is my football club.
Job's not finished. The job is not done until FSG are out of this club. Hey, us 18 to 24-year-olds, Chris, we were too bored to watch 90-minute football matches against Leeds and Liverpool. We were too bored. No, we were not. Get out of our clubs.
Until FSG is gone, the battle's not won. FSG out, everyone.
Out. John Henry out.
When we get back to the grounds, okay, everyone, just listen to me now. When we get back to the grounds, I want the whole place to be covered. I want it to be covered with FSG out. I want there to be protests. They've done so much to try and take the identity away from this club. It's done. This is it. We can't forgive them anymore. It's done.
It's done. Let us know in the comments your thoughts, your excitement, everything. No time thinking about the past. We have done it.
Yeah, I would prefer not to speak about this time. Look, there was FSG have done good for Liverpool. I can't pretend that they haven't done good in the past, okay? But they've overstepped the mark. They've ruined everything they've done. It's done.
Florentino Perez. It's binding. Can't leave now. Suck your mom.
Is it though? Is it dead? If the clubs go broke, I think it'll be better if the finances will go down. We need to introduce better finance. You can't go out and spend £300 million in a transfer window anymore. That's done. It's proven to be unsustainable, especially with COVID.
I'm not going to hear Florentino Perez and his Eden Hazard, £100 million, his Luka Jovic, all of these failed signings, all of these mistakes, these big money transfers. You want to make these big money transfers? Budget for it, all right? Barcelona, £1 billion in debt. Maybe you shouldn't have bought Griezmann. Maybe you shouldn't have bought Dembele. Maybe you shouldn't have bought Coutinho. Maybe you should have thought about these things first. These clubs tried to just speak down to us as if we weren't the lifeblood of this sport. They took a left hook to the jaw. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Because you know what we are? We are beyond excited.
Wow. There's an argument for this. I don't think you can have the plan. Oh, Uzaya, I don't know if I butchered your name, mate. But if Real Madrid leave, then that's finished because Perez is the chairman. Oh my God. Florentino Perez, okay. You can't come out here and make all the big statements that he did yesterday and have it as a plot. That's not a tactic. That was his vision. That was his life's work there.
I mean, so here's the thing. Let's talk about the events that led us here, right? So Chelsea have their match today against Brighton. The buses can't get to the stadium because the fans are just protesting. They're putting themselves in the way of these buses from moving. Matches move back 15 minutes because of that. It comes out that Petr Cech has to come out, tell the fans to move. They end up moving the match back 15 minutes, obviously. Chelsea reportedly go down. Then Man City are the first club to officially put a letter in to leave. They're not going to officially announce it because of legal reasons, but they're the first one to leave. Then it's, who was it after that? Was it Atletico after that? Then it was Barcelona are having a vote with their fans. They're not actually going to do it yet. Arsenal reportedly were supposed to. Man United supposedly were supposed to. Ed Woodward steps down as chairman of Manchester United. Andrea Agnelli, I forget what it is, steps down at Juventus reportedly. And we have Chedu with us as well.
Make sure everyone while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get on it. More Super League content. Hopefully, it'll be done in the next couple of days. It'll be finished. No Super League content after this. Hopefully, it'll never rear its ugly head again.
Chedu.
Hello, boys. We're feeling good. We're all feeling good today. What a roller coaster the past 48 hours have been. I mean, at one point we all thought it was never going to happen. Then they said it would, and now it all seems to be in the mud. I'm not gonna call myself a visionary, but I kind of feel like we were right when we said that this could have been a negotiation tactic. Because the moment that the UEFA come out saying that the money that goes into the UCL will be higher, the entire Super League plans just disappear. So, that makes me think that that's actually what was happening. It could have been simply the fans just being pissed off that could have done that too. But knowing Florentino Perez, John Henry, and the others, I don't think that would have affected that much.
In response to this, Shay, if Real Madrid pull out, then everyone's pulling out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You cannot look at the order of clubs pulling out as anything other than just which clubs told the reporters first. There's not going to be anything official for a few days, few hours. So, but at the very least, cannot pull the pressure off until it's official that they've gone. I've seen people talk about, well, UEFA is not much better, the new Champions League format. I said in yesterday's stream, I would not have been surprised if this was just a tactic to get us to forget about how bad the UEFA format is. But right now, that's a discussion for another time about how bad that is.
Yeah, but you say that, Jack, but did you watch Florentino Perez yesterday? He put his bollocks on the line. I am convinced this is what he wanted when he first originally got Real Madrid, did the Galacticos. This man, he wants to change football for the profitable. This was his vision. This was his life's work here. And maybe one day he'll get it, but not today.
John Henry, well and truly in the mud.
Yeah.
We could pick apart small things. We should have beat Leeds yesterday. We should have shouldn't love the UEFA Super League, but to see the amount of support that came behind all this as a tidal wave from every fan and to just say no. Is it upsetting that it's like the Patrick Bamford quote that it came at the expense of the pockets rather than the racism? Yes, it's upsetting. But I think the unity that was shown was incredible. Fabrizio Romano, I believe, confirming that Ed Woodward's leaving Manchester United. So in my eyes, Ed Woodward leaving United is the domino that's going to destroy everything else. He was the major connection to the banks with the Glazers. So
Ed Woodward's a very, very good businessman.
He's
not a football. He's not a football man. And that's where the falling down of all of these owners and all of these multi-billion-pound contracts are, is that none of them are run by football men.
I mean, I don't know if you even mentioned it while I wasn't here, but apparently the FSG do have to sell LFC if the Super League doesn't happen, which seems that's the case right now. At least that's the rumors going around that they have to do it.
One of the more financially sound clubs in Europe. I would be surprised if they have to sell.
All of this has made me just not asked about transfers anymore. Like, I don't care who we sign in the summer, as long as we have Liverpool Football Club as we know it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
in fact, it helps put everything in perspective, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does, yeah. I mean, we were upset that we couldn't sign Mbappe, we couldn't sign Haaland, because we were saying, oh, why didn't we have this money? Then we got the money and we realized what the cost of that money was. So it's like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I would be surprised if FSG sell. I'd be surprised if it's. I'd be stunned fundamentally.
By the way, I don't know again if you mentioned this, but apparently it's being said that the government will be putting in plan the 50+1 rule.
Are they?
In England? Apparently that's going to happen.
Where's that?
We posted it. I'll have to check for the source that reported it, but apparently that's on our Twitter right now.
If that happens, that would be the best thing to happen to English football.
I disagree.
Yeah, apparently Boris Johnson has vowed to.
Now, Chris, how are you going to get 20 buyers for 51% of a football club? Because every club has to sell out then.
Yeah.
So
I honestly don't care.
So every fan base has to scrap up billions for this. In a pandemic, all these fans who have lost all their money now have to go pay these billionaires to maybe rule football properly.
There's a lot of very rich Liverpool fans out there, mate.
but they can't take over the club.
They can.
The fans have to own it. Is it not how it works?
Yeah, they'll be Liverpool fans. It doesn't matter how rich they are.
This 50+1 thing doesn't make any sense in my eyes.
It would.
I mean, it works in Germany, so
it is made. I think the German thing is what has stopped. Was the first stopping point in it because it lose Bayern Munich.
But then we have to reverse the entire conception of all of these clubs. They all have to sell out.
Obviously, it would take a while. He wouldn't be able to do it immediately, but it would be one of the best things to happen to English football if it happened.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, anyways, we're getting caught up. The big thing is, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Well, it's nearly over.
Nearly over. We've nearly gotten through it. I mean, there's nothing confirmed according to Fabrizio Romano on the Agnelli side. He's the vice chairman of the Super League, but he's not officially resigned. Florentino Perez reportedly under a lot of under a lot of pressure. Obviously,
he made an absolute clown of himself. I cannot wait for all the memes. Imagine! Oh my god!
Here's the thing.
His bollocks on the table, and he's popped off.
I went shopping for some groceries on Sunday midday. All those groceries lasted longer than the European Super League did. All of those. No shade. Prayers for you after you cut in your finger in excitement. Exactly. I mean, here's the thing: is what this taught me is the power of the fans is unmatchable, unbeatable. Like Blackhammer says. And so, if we were to unite in the same way under other issues, I'm just so happy because not that I can support my club again, but I can. The people who ultimately caused this are still around. For Liverpool's sake, they'll still be at Chelsea. They'll still be at Manchester City. But
real quick to hit on the point that you made a second ago, I think this is a good example for what we should do as football fans going forward, and what management should do. Because again, an example that we put the other day was UEFA don't really react this quickly with things like racism. So I think they should really take this example to work against racism moving forward. Fans too. Like I don't think in my lifetime I've seen football fans like this united against something. Like things I would have never seen, like the United fans being nice to Liverpool fans, praising them, their players or their manager or whatever, and everyone just seemed to like gotten together, put all the rivalries aside to fight against the Super League. So I think this kind of unity has to be something going forward whenever there's a bigger problem at hand.
I mean, let's actually for a moment we stood side by side with Manchester United fans. So for a moment, let's congratulate them on their finally getting rid of Ed Woodward. I think years of a silent clap for them, and then move on quickly. But
well, no, I think we should dwell on it because Manchester United are the biggest club in world football, and however much we don't like to say it, and they have been absolutely screwed over by their owners and their chairman and their CEO.
Yeah,
like. I personally can't wait for a world where I know it won't happen, and we can't expect perfection because it won't happen. But where if the 50+1 rule does come in, those people will be appointed in the interest of the fans, and the fans, as people say, football without fans is nothing.
Yep.
It's just a bit like that.
I think real quick, I think, at least in my case, and I assume in both of your cases too, and every single Liverpool fan, yesterday we couldn't care less about the game. I think we were all, probably a lot of us were happy that we didn't win, looking at the circumstances yesterday. But it feels good knowing that this isn't going to happen, that we can now tomorrow wake up and still be Liverpool fans or United fans or whatever, without having to worry about our owners being absolute douchebags and wanting money, and that's it. And going back to supporting the club as normal, not having to worry about what sport should I watch next or anything of the sorts.
Yeah, the 50+1 rule, Devin. It's one of my favorite things about football, in modern football. It's where a fan-owned consortium it owns 51%, so the majority shareholder of every single club. So it means that the decisions are made. So if you notice, Bayern Munich.
Can I read the actual rule itself? So
Yeah,
the quote of it is the so-called 50+1 rule has been written into German league statutes since 1998 and stipulates that a German football club must hold a majority of its own voting rights in order to compete in the Bundesliga. Therefore, preventing sort of takeovers that are commonplace in England. So basically, Liverpool fans would have to create like a Liverpool board, and they'd have to own 51% of it, and it would have to be like they would own the club themselves. I don't know how that would be implemented in the Prem, but continue.
I don't think it would be implemented immediately, but I think
definitely
it would take time. Everything, all these structural changes take time, which is why they made a stupid mistake with the European Super League. If they were going to try and make it work, and I don't know why I'm giving them advice here, take your time, like plan it out.
Again,
throw it on people.
Again, I think it all goes down to the fact that perhaps it was just a negotiation tactic, because the fact that they went, oh yeah, it's gonna start right next season.
I mean,
Perez put his bollocks on the table, mate. I'm sorry.
let's all just laugh for a moment at Florentino Perez.
I mean, if it's true what that one comment said that he could be resigning, that would be.
I was going to Independent as well, so that's quite a reliable source.
That would be one of the best things that the football world has gone through in years.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of replies to the original tweet about the match, or about the stream. Sorry, saying like, oh well, this is just UEFA. It's like less crap is more corrupt, something like that. I mean, I think we shouldn't stop here. We should be upset about the fact that the World Cup is happening in Qatar, and there was obvious corruption there, and there was obvious human rights abuses. We should be mad that racism has not had more serious issues against that. We should be mad that players are just forced to kneel before every match instead of doing more tangible things before every match. There are a lot of things that you can be mad about, but I think today we have to also celebrate. Take a moment, pat yourselves on the back that our outrage caused something. It caused Ed Woodward to be gone, maybe Tonali to be gone at Juventus, and it caused this potentially.
And maybe even Paris.
See, here's the thing with Barcelona is they were with their situation is they were never in it. So like they were not just going to do a vote with their fans on if they're going to do it or not. So they're socios is what they're called, which I believe are just fans who have
socios would be members.
Yeah, members. So it was basically just a case of do you guys want to do it or not? Yes or no? And it was like going to be very overwhelming no. So it was pretty much saying they're not going to do it by inviting a vote. But and I mean, yeah, I think you can have multiple things happen that you can be happy that this is not happening and upset that it even was a suggestion in the first place. But
it's kind of I don't remember who said it. I think it might have been Neville. I don't know. That said, like, even if it doesn't happen, be pissed off at your owner still that they wanted this to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I just saw a tweet as well. A year of rainy nights in Kazakhstan is worth it for the leeches to finally piss off.
I honestly, I don't care how much it takes.
You know what?
As long as Liverpool Football Club play football in Liverpool in front of the fans at Anfield, that's all I care about. At the end of the day, you can strip away. You can have big money signings. You can have trophies. Nothing beats it.
Yeah, 100%. Thoughts on the reports FSG are going to sell the club from Charlie. I would say I would love it, but the issue is I don't know who they'd be selling it to, because I think FSG are as good as owners as possible, considering the greedy alternatives that exist. The fact that they were one of the leaders of this idea is really upsetting, but I also wonder, if it was a different owner in place of Liverpool Football Club, if it was Gillette and Hicks.
Oh God, there wouldn't be a Liverpool Football Club.
It wouldn't be Liverpool, first of all, but I mean, they would have the same desires, right? But I mean, these fans, I'm just so happy that this is potentially going to fall apart, and the fact that it fell apart so quickly too. Just beyond happy.
To pick up on your racism thing, I think the whole football world was enraged. I don't think me and you especially, Jack, we don't know what racism is like.
No, we don't.
We have never been able to be judged for the color of our skin.
Mm-hmm.
I think what this Super League has done has touched everyone, because everyone's able to be felt like. And I'm not wait for me to finish this, by the way, because racism is a much more important issue than this. But everyone's been touched by this issue, so everyone's immediately got behind it. There are some racists out there, all right, who don't like people for the color of their skin, and that's never going to change, however much we try and root it out. But the only way that we can at least try is by continuing the solidarity that we've shown for this. All the people that have been outraged for this, continue it for something. Kieran Trippier got banned for longer than the Slavia Prague guy who was clearly racist. End of the day, it's a much bigger issue. Even if it's a much bigger issue than the Super League issue, really.
Shay, can you pull what Sam Collymore has said? I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah, no, I 100% agree. Everyone was getting screwed over by this, as opposed to segments, and it just caused everyone to be pissed off. They don't want to be screwed over. But as a legacy fan.
Which is the same thing with UEFA, because they're the ones that are being affected. If it's racism, they don't lose anything. They're just that's why they don't care as much for that than something like this. And it's again, this needs to be a lesson that football fans have to take, which is our voices together. I mean, look what has happened with probably some of the most stubborn and richest people in football. They just all had to pull out because the fans clearly have a lot of power, and something that we need to use moving forward.
And what the fans' power was, in one case, was the fans stood in the way of the buses, so the buses couldn't get to the Brighton Chelsea match, and they said, "You want to screw us over? We're going to screw you over," and then everyone's just going to be upset. And at that point, I think that
this thing here, how does Perez have the power to fine a club? Unless there's a clause in the contract that they apparently signed. He's an empty threat, man. He's an empty old little peasant. I hate him.
Is he really going to tear down every club at the
he's
tear down his own club too?
Vile human being. Honestly.
God,
Let's hope we can at least try and replicate this in society now.
Yeah, I mean, I know after the Slavia Praha incident, there was a lot of like, "Oh, Arsenal, I hope you go win against them, go beat them." There's a lot of that, which I enjoyed. Right, it was like, yeah, nice. Like there was some. It was actually quite funny seeing Man United fans saying that rooting for Arsenal very adamantly to try and go smack them around. And like when I believe it was it Bale who elbowed one of them in the face against when they were playing in the international level. I mean, those were small responses. Obviously, I'm not going to help with systemic racism, but this just shows the power that we all have. I've been repeating that about probably like half a dozen times at this point, but I can't get over just how powerful we really were. And we forced UEFA, we forced all these clubs to recognize that they have to abide by our rules. Yeah, you may own the club, but you have to abide by our rules. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, that Collymore thing about European super clubs may have to sell the club.
I don't really know how Stan Collymore's getting some of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's what I would advise everyone to do, right? I said it in the video I did yesterday explaining the Super League, which is now aged very poorly because the Super League will do nothing for Liverpool, except for maybe cost us a couple £1 million in fines. Don't believe every report you see. Just calm down. Follow the big ones. The Athletic, Fabrizio are really reliable. I saw that United, when it was reported that United had broken out, like left, it was one person with like 500 followers on Twitter. I was like, why are we biting this? Why are these huge outlets pushing this? I know that it's huge, but take a moment, breathe, read what you're about to either spread or stuff like that. I'm not calling you a liar, Shay. I'm not calling Stan Collymore a liar. I'm just saying that there's going to be a lot of crap. There's going to be a lot of tweets about people who think that they know things, and only very few things may actually be correct in the end. So
the real killer ones are Ed Woodward leaving and Chelsea and City leaving.
Yeah,
that's the kind of things that will show more and more clubs on their way.
I mean, if we sold our club to a sheik, yeah. I mean, it's same problem, just different face. It's like
Exactly.
the only way we could sell the club realistically would be what Chris, the 50 plus.
Don't worry, guys. It's okay. We will all mortgage our houses a couple of times and buy Liverpool. That's fine.
I'll mortgage my single room flat.
Yep, perfect.
How many stocks you buying?
LFCTR to buy Liverpool. Watch it.
Well, we have to shut down the channel now because it'd be slightly conflict of interest to report about and react to our own players. Like players we not own. That's kind of the poor wording, but
whoa.
yeah, that was
the players that are assigned to us
cannot leave without breaking their contract.
Exactly. There we go. Perfect.
Contracted.
That's the one.
There we go.
And don't worry, we will start our own Liverpool league. Only the teams in Liverpool can play. Since that's what all owners do.
Wait a second. I sort of want to talk about that actually. We were 24 hours ago. We were contemplating a future with no Merseyside derby. Like I can't imagine that.
There may still be some punishments, right? We may get. Maybe we get relegated. Maybe we get a 30-point deduction.
We'll get a point or a fine.
But yeah, I don't see us getting relegated. I don't think they're going to relegate.
They can't.
All
they don't
six
have
teams.
Yeah.
Because again, the amount of money that they're going to lose doing that is it's not worth it.
They'd have to relegate all six big. You know what? Actually, that would be kind of fascinating. All six big six sides relegated.
Yeah, Chedu, you can relegate 100, couldn't you?
Only 3 could get promoted back up.
It would be interesting which 3 would go up.
Who would get promoted?
Listen, if the top 6 goes down, I could see us getting promoted, City and Derby County.
Derby County, you're going to be in League One next year.
No, believe. No, believe.
No, well, listen. I just think that if they relegated all 6, they'd be giving money to the EFL, and they wouldn't want to do that.
That's also true.
That would be fascinating, though. I mean, I think it'd be and City as promoters, and then what would be also funny is you probably have the most likely would be the other 4 big 6 sides would be the other sides to be in the playoffs, and that would be peak entertainment. The 4 big 6 sides 4 of them battling out for promotion.
By the way, have we either today or the other day, because I can't remember, talked about the new Champions League formats? I'll
talk about that in a second, but one thing I want to say is to the comments, let us know things that lasted longer than the European Super League. But we're less than 2 days. We're looking at about 46 hours of its existence between formal announcement and its reported demise. Things that lasted longer. Yeah, I mean, so we can talk a little bit about the new Champions League format because it is a similar problem disguised in a different way.
Yes.
In 2024, there will be 4 more teams added to the competition, and there will be 2 more spots that are going to be guaranteed qualifiers. So I think there's going to be like a 4th spot in maybe France, maybe a 4th spot in Italy after I get, but they're just going to make more qualifying spots for the big 4-5 European leagues. And there will be 2 wild card spots, which will give spaces to the best coefficient teams that did not qualify in their leagues. So, for instance, Liverpool have a huge coefficient, one of the biggest in Europe because of a run to the final 3 years ago and winning it 2 years ago, sorry, and being in it for the last 5. They'll have a really high coefficient, probably one of the best in Europe out of clubs that don't qualify. So they will, if they have the best coefficient of a side that's not qualified, they will then be given a wild card place. So essentially, that is not a guaranteed place, but it's a fallback. So Liverpool could finish 10th in the league, but if they're the best of the rest who haven't qualified, then they would still qualify as of 2024. So it's a similar issue of a higher floor protecting these big clubs, but it's less bad. It's just still bad.
Between the Champions League and the Super League, of course, the Champions League is the better option, but it's still not good. But at the very least, we don't get kicked out of our own league. But it's, I don't know. I mean, there's still a while for it to happen. Hopefully a lot of things change from here to then to fix that problem. I think the wild card is just a stupid decision, but yeah, it's going to be interesting because, of course, it's going to be a league instead of groups. where I believe it's the top 8 go through to the knockouts, and then the others play playoffs to see who makes it to the next round.
Is that the Super League or is that the new
No,
Champions League?
the Champions League. The Champions League. It's one league. The top 8 move on. Then others, I don't know how many, have to qualify through playoffs, and every club is guaranteed 10 games at the very least.
Which, on a revenue scale, makes sense, but on everything else, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this. I know it's deflecting away from the topic. They didn't know what was going on. They were in the same boat as us, all the players and the coaches. Jordan Henderson called a meeting today. The captain.
I mean, apparently the players themselves were like messaging Fabrizio asking what is going on because they generally had no idea.
Exactly, and it doesn't surprise me because it's almost lost for words, like how secretive and elitist and sort of cliqued this entire Super League farcical has been, and it's still gut wrenching to think that it actually happened, and it is still happening until it gets done, until it's finished.
I agree. And so UEFA also, I'm reading a tweet from Dale Johnson from ESPN saying, when UEFA announced the new UCL format, it said potential adjustments to the format approved could still be made if necessary. I think we should be protesting to get rid of those 2 those 2 wildcard spots and give them to actual champions. Whether it's a champion in like a smaller side, like Ajax are not guaranteed a Champions League place. They win the Eredivisie. And they were a 4-time Champions League winner. They made it to the semifinals a few years ago. Give them a guaranteed spot for winning their division, rather than Liverpool finishing 8th in their division get a spot. We should be moving our attention to that.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're just doing whatever's going to make the most money. I mean, it's a slightly watered down, diluted version of the European Super League. At
the very least, it comes without any problems in other sites.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Lucas says. Carragher and Neville. I hope that they don't say like job done. I hope they say like, all right, this is the beginning of more fan empowerment. Because
from a selfish point of view, I think for Liverpool Football Club, this version of the Champions League could be better for us because we could be crap for the next.
Yeah,
but it'd be great for us.
If I'm a football fan, and that's what I am primarily first, I'm a football fan before a Liverpool fan. It's ridiculous still. It's still elitist. It's still showcasing all the problems that we have.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I've just seen this comment come through. I don't really care at this point. Obviously, I want Liverpool to do well. I want Liverpool to win. But at the end of the day, if I've got Liverpool, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case of we can be upset that Liverpool will be hurt by this financially. They'll be hurt competition-wise. We won't be guaranteed placements, but I don't think if you're a Liverpool fan, you can't want a sport with no stakes. You know, when we were playing against Barcelona in 2019, we knew that if we didn't come back from 3-0 down, we were eliminated. There was no you'll be in it next year. Doesn't matter what happens. We had to do it in 2005 in Istanbul. We had to win the Champions League to qualify for the year after. And if we didn't do it, there was no protection for us. There was no, you guys made it to the final. You might as well just give you another spot. We knew we had to win. Losers lose, or losers complain, winners win. Something like that.
I mean, in my own personal opinion, I'd rather be 13th, 14th in the league every season than be in the Super League.
I think I saw a tweet as well that we have to be afraid of City winning the Champions League and Chelsea winning the Champions League again. But you know what? That's how I like it.
The only downside to the Super League not happening is that Man City will actually have a chance at winning the Champions League.
It's going to happen one day, lads.
Never.
I hope that we live in a world where teams are allowed to compete like that. You know, where they're allowed to win things on the.
What has Degsy said? What's Degsy said?
I'll look it up and read it afterwards.
I'm checking. Yeah.
Dejan Lovren.
Oh, he just announced that he's coming back.
When nothing goes right, Go left and laugh with your friend. Life is more than material things. I posted a screenshot of him and Mo Salah laughing in a FaceTime call.
Yeah,
I love Dejan Lovren.
same.
I love him.
Man.
I love him.
He has to be the spokesperson, the official Liverpool spokesperson.
FSG being oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pull away.
Carry on, mate. Carry on.
We'll pull Matty's coming up in a second. If FSG are spiteful, that's just them being idiots, man.
Yeah.
They have a vested interest in us succeeding, and us succeeding means getting to the top four, and us getting to the top four means we need some improvement in the squad. If they want to delude themselves and say that they don't want to do that, that's on them. I cannot imagine these. I mean, so what we know about FSG now is they're hardcore business owners. They are money first, money only. If they then turn around and say, "Oh, our fans were mean to us. They can't see Mbappe at Anfield now," that I'm sorry. Just get out of our club. You're not. Anyways, we can pull.
Sorry, I just want to say no. There's two people out of this that are going to come out with adulation that don't deserve it. Gary Neville being one of them, and the other being Boris Johnson.
Especially if the 50+1 rule is implemented.
Well, yeah, football fans will vote for him now.
Yeah.
And without taking into account everything else. I know you guys obviously will know, Jack, you've had Donald Trump in charge of your country. I don't know about you, Chedu. You probably
no, I know. I know.
Political transfer room.
Yeah, I don't like people say, "Oh, don't mix politics and sport." Politics is sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What just happened? Yeah, what just happened? I mean,
exactly. It was politics.
This is one of the biggest industries in the entire world. It's going to have intrinsic relation to all these other things, like race, like politics. It's part of the thing.
Yeah, and but what I can see is the new generation of voters. So my generation and football fans voting for him because of this.
You mean the legacy fans?
No, not the legacy fans. The 18 to 24. You don't know and you don't watch football, and that's frightening because I can't endure another 4 years of him, boys. It's done. Like,
yeah, I think the big thing we need to learn from all this though is that when things like this are in our way, and when big problems arise, we can get over it. I'm just so glad that the players as well, like these players who are multimillionaires, in the case of Kevin De Bruyne, Luke Shaw, making these public statements about how they came from either working class environments, like Marcus Rashford, Jordan Henderson. I saw a tweet you did earlier, Chris. It's just about how important it is for these players to be given the opportunity to compete as players and not given things and not run like a business. The emotion is what needs to return. And I cannot wait for next season when the fans are back. Because if the fans were in the stands, there is no chance this anywhere close to flies. They tried to pull off this, "Oh, we're too poor now. Oh, we need to protect we need to protect all the football." No, you didn't. You wanted to be.
It's a football problem. You can't. That's everyone's fault in the football governing bodies from 1992 onwards for letting these people have so much power. Like, you've given people who are say I'm UEFA, I'm FIFA, and one of you guys is Roman Abramovich. You're more powerful than I am. Really, you've got much more money than me, and I'm meant to be in control of you. That's not going to work. You're going to want more. And that's what's happened, and that's happened on a scale of European scale. You've given Florentino Perez the chance to try and design a league for corporate gain. This is what's happened because of football. This is what football has done. It's not just a Liverpool problem or a European problem. It's a football problem that needs sorting. You know, the only way that I can see it sorting in England is the 50+1 rule.
I agree with you. Honestly, I just don't know. I'm obviously not an economic mind, right? I am a 19-year-old college student in the United States who, in his free time, does live streams on a LFC fan channel. I'm not going to be the kind of person to think about what this is. I think in concept, it could definitely be great. In principle, it may be absolutely crap. I think a lot of these, like when Florentino Perez was talking yesterday, a lot of what he said, like, it made sense, right? It made financial sense.
Yeah. In a
It made
financial
financial sense,
standpoint,
but
in a financial standpoint, it did make sense.
The emotional aspect and
lost the whole time.
if you had been if you were to recreate football, right? Everyone's minds are erased, and you can recreate the sport from the best financial perspective for your club, for a certain group of clubs. You would make a select group that could not get relegated, be like in America, so these groups could have an immense amount of wealth and can invest in the lower tiers as well. It makes sense, but I mean, it just was never going to fly because we've seen the emotion that exists in the sport. You want to win every match. That's what, I'm an American, right? And there was a lot of animosity towards Americans for liking this idea, for having this idea. What I love about European sports, European football, is that at no point can the words, I think us losing would be a good thing, ever enter your mind in a rational sense. Because at no point does going into a match with the objective to lose, or where losing is more beneficial than winning, could that ever be beneficial for you? In America, in the NFL, in the NBA, if you lose and you're a team that's in the bottom half of the league, you actually have a better chance of improving. Oh, yeah.
Apparently King Kenny tweeted.
Pull up that ugly tweet. But my point is, I'm just incredibly glad that we get back to a football, back to a sport where it's purely. I have it up here. The last few days have been difficult for everyone who loves Liverpool Football Club, and I really hope we do the right thing. I mean, he's spot on.
Yep.
Spot on. King Kenny. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Lucas, for bringing that up. I hadn't seen that until you mentioned it.
I love what Andy tweeted. We gave Florentino Perez 48 hours to quit, or he will see our next move.
Indy Kyler, bro. I love him. He's an absolute joker.
For today, the Chelsea match is happening right now. I can imagine literally nobody is. They have to have the lowest.
No one cares
in history. I'm not going to spoil in that one. I'm just going to see what's happening. It's
they're losing 3-4.
You know what's happening is the players are running to the sideline and they're getting like updates about what's happening as well.
So José, right? So if everyone just decides to leave, that surely dissolves the project.
Yeah. Who are they paying the money to? JP Morgan? That would at that point. I think if literally every club said no to JP Morgan, all the fans would back them. And like, what would JP Morgan do? Would they bring them to court? Oh, then JP Morgan would really.
Yeah, I just think I just can't see. I can't see it going ahead now with all of this going on. I was yesterday and the day before. I struggled to sleep, boys. I thought the one.
You know what's funny, Chris? I was the exact opposite. I was so tired. I fell asleep at 9:30 p.m. yesterday and woke up at 9:30 a.m. I slept like a rock because I just didn't want to live. I didn't want to be alive.
Boys, I was.
You see, I was the middle ground. I just stood up because I wanted to.
I was because I thought the one big institution in my life was under threat, like Liverpool. Whatever happens into anything, Liverpool would always be there, but then it wouldn't be. I thought, everything that I'd done, everything that I'd lived for had just been sort of ripped away. But then now with all of this happening, I just feel a sense of a light at the end of a tunnel.
JP Morgan, I think they could. We couldn't really threaten JP Morgan into not suing if we wanted to, but I mean,
come on, about 20 viewers.
Yeah, all 23 of us combined.
Honestly, I also really, would like to take a moment and say that this has made us reflect so much that not a single one of us gives a shit if we're playing in the Conference League next season.
I've just seen a comment. Sorry, I've just seen a comment in response to our original tweet, saying that the Super League would have rid football of corruption. You can't. Like, there's corruption in football now, right? But you can't think the Super League is going to be this shiny new bloody this. Oh no, man!
That ain't it.
Oh my god!
I don't know if Pouncing Zebra is here,
That's a great name.
but I'm going to read his tweet. Yeah, so as not reactionary idiots, people can be against European immunity. I agree there should be relegation, but the majority of people who are anti-Super League have no clue what they're talking about. Super League would have saved the game financially and rid it of corruption.
I'm not bothered about saving that. It's
What? What? Rid the game of corruption?
Clip that.
I also I love how they're calling us idiots for thinking the UCL's better. Like we've said, the UCL's better.
I
mean, it is compared to the Super League. It is, but it's still not good.
It's still bad, like what's happening, but it's not as bad as life changing as it could have been.
Exactly.
Oh my god, Florentino Perez, as José says, Florentino Perez is one of the scummiest blokes in football and probably on the planet. Okay, he's trying to monetize something that's emotional. He's monetizing a human right, a human feeling. You can't do that.
Yeah, Chedu, I just realized I forgot to tag you in the original tweet.
Yeah.
So he had to reply and say and me. We should reply with the LFC transfer account and say, Chedu, you're not here. You're not actually here.
You know what? I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. I have the power.
Thank you all for joining us. I think this is a small moment of celebration. I love the tweet from Richard Jolly saying there's a growing possibility that Jose Mourinho may be the only European Super League manager ever to be sacked. The special one. He's the only one to ever get sacked.
That's true.
You know, and what's insane too is that this was the Super League, right? Drowned out Jose Mourinho, one of the biggest managers in the history of football, just getting sacked.
There's another part. Why are we getting viewers?
Because I replied to the tweet, so they're joining. Welcome.
There's another part to Jose Mourinho's story because there was a contract in his contract, right? His payoff. People will be saying, "Oh, it's about the Super League." It's about his payoff. So if he'd have left Tottenham, if he'd have been sacked while they were in the Champions League, or if they'd won a trophy, he'd have had to leave. He would have had a £24 million payoff. But because he hasn't won a trophy and they're not in the Champions League, they got 10. He's got 10 million. So that's the reason why he's gone. I'm not splitting my. Nah, I'm getting a trim in a couple of days though. So.
Odds on the three of us going. Odds on the three of us going ball to celebrate.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should all go ball.
Throw a number. Throw a number.
No.
Odds on. Come on.
Does Chris like Americans though? I love him. I love Jack anyway. That's the main thing.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's funny actually because I know that there was basically if you were against the Super League, you were against Americans, and you hate foreigners. You want the game to be. You want the game protected. Let us know in the comments your thoughts, all of you who are joining us now. Your thoughts that the Super League is potentially done. A summary of what's happened in the last, literally hour and a half is Florentino Perez under a lot of pressure to resign now. He put his balls on the table on Sunday night saying that this was going to be like sticking around. They would continue doing it.
Make sure you subscribe. Sorry. Subscribe now, people.
Ed Woodward for Manchester United is resigning as their chairman.
Subscribe now and subscribe. If we get to what subscribers are we on at the moment?
730.
750.
Wow.
No, right? No.
No
if
way.
If we get to 740, I will drop the kit video. We all designed kits, and I will drop it tomorrow.
That's a fantastic. Listen, that video is a banger.
It's genuinely like it is a banger. It's the best video that we've done.
Yeah.
So subscribe right now. Please do it.
LFC Transfer Room on YouTube. It is my fault, Matty. I agree. It is indeed my fault. So basically, yeah, so it came out that Man City we're going to drop out, Chelsea we're going to drop out, Atletico Madrid we're going to drop out, Barcelona we're going to hold a vote with their fans to determine whether or not they should do it or not. And basically the fans would just say no.
Miss Caitlin Club. They're more than a club, apparently, according to themselves.
United.
Miss Kim Club. Yeah.
Woodward was going to resign because of the pressure. And so here's a tweet from just a little bit ago from the Madrid zone. saying the Super League expected a war against UEFA and FIFA, but they didn't expect the extreme reactions from fans, players, politicians, and celebrities. And I mean, fundamentally, what happened is that everyone was against them, and it was a truly remarkable.
I mean, how blind could they be going into it expecting the fans not to react this way?
No, I'm not surprised because they're not football men. None of them.
That's also true. That's also true. Yeah.
What's going on? They don't know the market. They're not football people. They're business people. They're corporate. They're ruling class.
Man, I do think we have to look back and say that this could have been avoided if they really wanted to actually pull this off. They could have talked to their players, talked to their coaches. Klopp had to go out yesterday and say, yeah, we weren't involved in any discussions. We weren't involved in any decisions. And at that point, if Klopp isn't even able to get his point across, that's just not going to happen. Reports were that Maguire and Shaw were incredibly angry with Woodward and the Glazers when they met them in person. And if they did, hats off to them. I mean, we can hate them on the field, but we have to respect that they love this game just as much as we do. And they were against it.
So all this time, sorry, I've just seen this. So Perez has been plotting. Perez has been plotting the biggest plot of his life with his bollocks on the table. He's there to be chopped off, and he's still signing players.
It was all part of his plan.
Apparently, he can't afford players. So what's going? Alaba's going to be on 300k a week, and apparently he can't afford that.
That's the most infuriating thing. Is yesterday Perez had the audacity to come out and say, clubs are losing money. We're losing millions of euros, and yet at the same time, he's going to sign Alaba to a ridiculous amount of money per year. He signed Hazard, a ridiculous amount of money per year. Wants to sign Mbappe. He talked in that press conference about signing Mbappe and Haaland. Like you are an idiot if you think that
apparently
football stem from anything other than that.
Apparently, this guy's still talking because the Madrid Zone just tweeted out that he said, "Can clubs like Lens and Metz from Ligue 1 make it one day to the Super League?" Absolutely. This guy's just a clown.
It would take years of financial doping, which would be against all the rules for them to get anywhere near it.
So, yeah, apparently I wasn't 100% sure about it up until now, but apparently Boris Johnson was the main culprit behind the demise of the Super League. Apparently.
Boris Johnson!
Apparently.
Again, I'm not going to listen to any of these reports and believe anything.
Wait,
Boris Johnson from deep.
Is it actually, are you being serious?
That's what I'm seeing on Twitter right now.
From who?
I gotta go check.
Who's tweeted this? Because
let me go check.
If he's actually done it, it's a masterclass. It's a masterclass from Johnson because he'll have got a whole load of voters there.
I don't know much about this account, but it's called Politics for All. I'm trying to see their source.
Big account. That's a big.
They were the ones who tweeted it out. Yeah.
Who's to say?
Do you know what? Right. I'm his biggest critic. I hate him. In fact, he's a scum.
I mean, Fabrizio also, by the way, just retweeted the David Alaba thing. So he retweeted a tweet from 6 days ago saying that David Alaba is 99% ready to join Real Madrid. Like he just retweeted that.
But Matty is a masterclass, mate. Like people will vote for him now.
Matty, get in this stream. Let's debate about Boris Johnson. I'm kidding, by the way.
We all hate Boris Johnson, mate.
Let's not drag this discussion away from the beauty of us eliminating the Super League to a contentious debate. Anyways, I think the Alaba thing just highlights the hypocrisy that exists. That Perez could go out and say these clubs are struggling, and then Chris, what are you doing?
Sorry, I've just seen Newport.
Chris
County.
is playing Dream League soccer on his phone.
I've just seen Newport County have won. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can say that these clubs need the money, and then it's like, and then at the same time, sign these players to extortionate wages. Because I've seen people talk about it that football wasn't going to die at the Super League. It was dying when you have these £100 million transfers, when you have these players on ridiculous wages per week, when you have the ticket prices continuing to go up and up. So It's just
50+1 rule. 50+1 rule.
yeah. I think that's going to be a really interesting discussion for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I think what we need to move on to is trying to get rid of that 2 wild card spots. 36 teams is fine, right? I mean, it's dumb, but I don't hate it wholeheartedly. By the way,
the fact that it's 10 teams.
Does that change it to 8-team groups and like 4? No, wait, that would be
it's one league. It's one league. Yeah, one league with all the teams. Yeah.
And then what? 10. It was 10 matches, right?
10 guaranteed matches. Yep.
Okay, I actually don't hate that as much, right? Because there's qualification, there's more guaranteed broadcast revenue for smaller clubs. So the likes of the smaller sides that get in, like the Michelins in the world, they get 10 home matches versus 3. That's actually kind of a big deal. Or 5.
I hate Florentino Perez.
Oh, Henderson just tweeted.
Yeah.
We don't like it and don't want it to happen.
Captain England.
Our commitment to the football club and its supporters is absolutely unconditional. Wow.
Boys, is it time to get this shirt on? Is it time to get this shirt on?
No.
Yes. You have a Wijnaldum shirt. What?
Yeah. Why?
It's a bit of a plot twist, isn't it?
The man who hates Wijnaldum with all his guts has a Wijnaldum shirt.
I know. For all the I think it's time. Do I get a Liverpool shirt on? Is it time?
I'll read the Jordan Henderson tweet again. We don't like it, and we don't want it to happen.
Get me a
Henderson possession. Our commitment to this football club and its supporters is absolute and unconditional. You'll never walk alone. That is my gift. And you know what? Trent just tweeted the exact same thing. It's everyone's tweeting the exact same thing.
I love this football club, man.
Milner was one of the first players of a side to go out and say he doesn't like it.
I think he was the first one from a side that was in the Super League. I think, not sure.
I believe he was as well.
Fucking get it! Come on.
Let me listen. Everyone, look at Chris right now, and let me just pull a picture of him from the other day when it was confirmed that the Super League was happening. Wait, look at the difference in this man,
mate. I am so gassed. I've not been so happy. This is the happiest I've been in so long because I thought when you realise how much something means when it gets taken away from you, and it felt like
James Miller has tweeted the same thing. I mean,
I think they're all gonna tweet it. I think they're all gonna tweet it then.
I am so fucking proud of this team, man.
Have we seen many players do something like this except for us? Other sides? I don't want to claim that.
I don't really follow anyone else, so I wouldn't know. If anyone from the chat knows.
Van Dijk just
Big Verge.
Boys, I'm gonna cry.
Do it on stream for the views.
This is huge.
It's halftime at the Brighton versus Chelsea
game. Who cares?
Who gives a shit? I don't think Chelsea fans are watching that game either.
Trent for the City. I love him.
Gentlemen, what are we saying we don't care about this Chelsea game? We care deeply. We need them to drop points.
Today's a celebration day. Shut up, Jack.
We can still get top 4.
We need them to drop points. Go Brighton.
The last time we needed Brighton to win a game, they disappointed us massively.
All right, let's do a live watch along when the second half starts.
Boys.
What a day.
Okay, so anyway, let me tell us in the chat if any but other teams have had players tweet out like things like this. I mean, I've seen Luke Shaw, but I haven't seen a collective group.
Did you see Luke Shaw's thing? It didn't even make sense. Sorry. By the way,
a lot, yeah.
Can I go full screen a second, please, Jack?
You go for it.
He's gonna cry. He's gonna cry.
How do I do it? Florentino Perez. Fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Let's clip that. We're gonna get that clipped and post it on the Twitter account.
That's the end of my career.
Yeah, and Trent quote tweeted his own tweet saying, "For the fans, for the city." I mean,
Right. FSG out, lads.
Fuck FSG.
Yeah. I mean, look, the fact that they could not talk to the players about this is disgraceful, in my opinion. These are the players who create a product. They're the ones that make the reason your club is worth so much. The club isn't worth it because of the brand. It's because of the players on the field that carry out the tradition of excellence and everything about that. And for them to turn around and make them answer the questions to the media after the match or before the match, have to play with that hanging over their head, try in a fight to get top 4 to try and qualify for an already corrupt Champions League. You know, has there been anything from Spurs or Arsenal that was Arsenal confirmed to have
Arsenal fans are going mental.
I saw a joke tweet. I sent it to the HQ that just said the only 2 teams left in the Super League are Tottenham and Arsenal because they don't have the money to pay for lawyers.
Boris Johnson was the main culprit. So funny.
What a dub.
Funny, bro. I can just imagine. You know the video of Boris Johnson rugby tackling a Japanese child?
What?
Nico? Yes, I saw something like that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Someone needs to put Florentino Perez's head on that child, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, anyone out there?
Yes.
If
I
you've
can
got
do it. I can do it.
Nico Williams.
Please do it. And tweet
I can do it.
Chedu, put it on the transfer room. That will bang. That will bang.
Okay, send me the picture and I'll find a picture of Florentino.
It's a video.
The video, sorry.
I'll send you a link with it. Oh my god.
I'll do it later. I'll do it later and post it. But yeah.
Boris Johnson rugby tackle.
Oh, that's gonna bang.
That will bang so hard, bro. Oh my god.
I'm just very beyond happy right now.
The scenes.
And Virgil tweeted about it on Instagram as well. So I mean, I'm just incredibly, I'm just incredibly happy about how we have stepped up. Our board didn't step up. They let us down. Our owners let us down.
Everyone go and sign this petition right now. Where is it? Uzak, can you put a link?
Yes, please. I'll link it in the chat.
It's too late for this. I'm sorry.
It's not, bro.
The amount of money that would be lost. The amount of.
There's already been lives lost.
Exactly.
But it doesn't stop it. Like
I think that,
if it doesn't stop, more lives are gonna be lost. So
I mean, the line in the sand was to be drawn earlier. I think what we need to learn from this is that we should not allow ourselves to be insulted like this, and we need to have this ahead of time.
Yeah.
But anyways,
LFCTR favorite Taylor says that FSG are apparently selling.
I would be stunned.
I want to know where you're finding that, bro. But
I would be stunned because here's the thing: is who are they selling to that's better? One.
Me.
Chedu, you got £2 billion pounds.
I have £2. I think that should be more than enough.
No. I mean, and what was I think less talked about was the insult that the Super League was causing their players potentially couldn't compete on the international stage. They were saying you can't compete because of joining this competition when they were not involved in the discussions for it.
someone tweeted, "This is the best coordinated attack Liverpool have done all season."
Yep. Yep.
Oh my god.
Not wrong.
Yeah. Seeing James Pierce go to become FSG out is one of the better redemption stories I've seen in my life.
I love this so much. Sevilla tweeted, you know, that this is fine gif of like the dog in the middle of fire saying this is fine because they're not getting Champions League next season because of this.
Sir Jordan Henderson, anyone?
Yes. Yes, he deserves it.
FSG isn't a player, by the way, Blackhammer. You can't just tell us.
I think we're gonna transfer FSG next season at 70 million, maybe.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Gentlemen, I'm just incredibly happy in this moment that the work we put in. Hey, Matty Orm,
Didn't James Pierce leave his job for a breakaway with more money though? If I speak, I'm in trouble.
We can't disrespect Big J-Mo. Got to get him on the channel at some point.
Yes.
I think this is so good to see our players do this. If you haven't seen what our players have done, go check Twitter. The LFC transfer has reposted some of these. Just a screenshot saying literally 4 sentences if you include "You'll never walk alone," and it's just leadership.
I've just warning you. I've got to do an interview at 9:30, so I'll be off here if we're still on.
Yeah, I do need to go at 9:30 too. So
we'll get ready to wind down, but I think that this has been one of our better streams.
This is the best day of the season.
Yes. Since the LFC transfer room started, it's been not nothing but sadness, but
a lot.
There's been a lot of sadness.
Almost every week.
Because we haven't really won many matches since we started the channel. Jordan Henderson said that he's pausing the cyber smile.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
Because as Liverpool players, it needs to be said. And he's spot on. I mean, he's doing great things with his social media platforms. He's doing a great job as being a leader of this club. And I think we'll talk about Henderson really quick, is he was always going to be held to the standard of Gerrard. After he left, he's an English midfielder, captain of Liverpool Football Club. He's not Gerrard, but he is as good a leader this club has ever had in its history.
Jordan Henderson is.
He's an incredible.
You can't disrespect him for people. People will compare him to Gerrard all day, but for me, they're on equal pedestals for now. I think Steven Gerrard on the field. Steven Gerrard will forever be the greatest, as Matty says, always. The best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. But Jordan Henderson today has shown that he really and truly is a man of the people off the field as well.
Yeah, I mean, he is not going to let this club lose its values with him as its player spokesperson, and I love that. Curtis Jones also tweeting about it. As Chedu.
My boy.
Nico's tweeted, Andy Robertson tweeted about it as well.
Yeah.
Chedu. Have you seen any other players, Chedu, that I haven't mentioned?
Did you mention Curtis?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, those are the only ones that I've seen so far.
So there's been a tweet, emergency meeting between the 12 clubs is now underway. I mean, yeah.
It's done. Give Jordan Henderson a statue. Give him a statue. I absolutely love him. I love him. I love that man. It is unconditional. I don't want any more girls in my life anymore. It's done. I'm Jordan Henderson, bro.
You are Jordan Henderson.
I wish I was.
By the way, Allison just tweeted it too.
He has a Twitter?
Yeah, he has a Twitter. He just tweeted it out 27 seconds ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that. Here's the thing: is I cannot imagine FSG looking at all these players speaking out to the public, saying we don't want it to happen, and say, "Yeah, we're gonna do it anyways." I can't. It would be unfathomable. It's not been announced that it's officially done. It's just incredibly rumored that the 12 clubs are meeting right now. But I have a feeling that's the second we hop off, the news is going to break that. It's just there's going to be that news because the meeting happening now indicates to me that we're about to. Maybe it's made official.
We may as well wait. I'll wait as long as I can until I have to get out of it.
Imagine we wake up tomorrow and nothing has actually happened and it was all rumors.
I mean, no. If they look at the players' reaction, the fans' reaction, the ex-players' reaction.
Oh, by the way, all the players are also posting it on Instagram too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nat Phillips, Adrian.
Matt Phillips at the back post.
Thiago, Joe Gomez, Ox. Yeah, all of them. Jeannie Wijnaldum, Rhys Williams.
I mean, I imagine every player that has an account will
yeah.
There's really no point in reading them all out. Basically, the motto is that all the players have done this. Football Images that precede unfortunate events just tweeted a James Pierce article saying, column, whatever happened to the FSG out brigade.
The FSG out brigade is every Liverpool fan right now. Every sane Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
All of us, everyone in this stream, we all know what FSG have done now.
They either have to completely atone for what they've done,
How
or
the
they
fuck
have
did they do that?
they have to move on, sell the club.
I can see it getting as violent as Ashley in Newcastle, and that is bad.
The only reason I don't know if it can is because there's just the issue being that every club is going to have to every club's going to have to sell almost. Every club's going to be under pressure. And here's I don't know who tweeted this from the transfer room, but Premier League CEO statement: "We're not angry with the 6 clubs. We're angry with the small group of owners and CEOs who pushed it through."
Good.
That makes me think that they won't punish the clubs with points deductions.
I agree. But actually, isn't that the exact opposite, though? It's the players then who are hurt in that instance.
Yeah, so there won't. That's why I think there won't be any points deductions.
Oh, there won't.
I think there'll be I think there'll be fines.
Thiago.
Heavy. There will be heavy fines, and it'll be for the people and not for the club.
Imagine being a player in the Liverpool locker room, by the way, or dressing room, and saying, I kind of wanted it to happen. I don't agree with you guys. Who would be the player to want the Super League in the Liverpool dressing room?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. I'll be honest.
Who was the Liverpool player in the dressing room who wanted the Super League to happen? Who would it have been?
None of them.
None. Yeah.
Not with Jürgen Klopp as manager.
If I had to throw a random name up,
Genie.
I'll say Big Kabak because he was close to being relegated and he didn't like the feeling.
Genie, bro.
Well, I am incredibly happy. So I'm going to wrap up the stream here. You gentlemen have places to go, but basically just continue to follow along LFC Transfer Room. There will be undoubtedly things coming out of this meeting that's about to be done. And so I think to everyone who has tuned in for this stream today, we've done good work. Almost. We did it. We did it. Last words from you, Chris and Chedu, before we get out of here.
Everything isn't. We haven't finished yet. Okay, there's so many battles to be fought and so many more battles to be won. But we've proven today, all of us as a community, we have proven that we can win battles. You know, it's not Boris Johnson who's won this battle. It's not Jordan Henderson that's won this battle.
Have a good night, Black Hammer.
Yes, that's exactly what Chris said. It is. I think it's not over yet. Of course, nothing has been confirmed, but for now, rejoice, celebrate.
You're saying one tune, you're tweeting the other. You tweeted the Breaking Bad picture saying it's over.
Shut up.
Oh, disgrace. I want to.
But yeah, there's still some stuff to be done. There's still stuff to be seen with FSG, whether it's true that they're going to have to sell or not, the 50+1 rule. But for now, everyone tonight go to sleep happy that at least for now everything's over. Of course, a lot of other stuff has to be done, but we can be happy about it.
What's funny
have a glass of wine, have a beer,
Yeah.
have a good night.
If you're legal to, unlike me in the States.
No, just do it.
You know what's funny actually is that we've just been reposted saying to drop our thoughts. So if you gentlemen need to get out of here. But we've been going for an hour 15 talking about this, and there's a few more people joining in now.
There's a few more people coming in. If you just comment, bro, just comment. We've had our final words, so.
I mean, we've been incredibly happy. Talked about the reports of the last few hours in the football world, and most recently the players announcing that they are against this incredibly high. Good to see you, G. S. You'll never walk alone. But I mean, it's just been an immense sense of satisfaction. Black Hammer's gonna sleep well tonight. I mean, the Leeds game did mean something, didn't it? Which is slightly unfortunate. But blame FSG for that result. Don't blame the players. The players had the thought in the back of their head that it didn't really matter in the end.
So here's to you, Jordan Henderson.
What
Yeah, he loves you more than you will know. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a roller coaster of emotions in the last few days, and I'm glad that we were able to come together. And there were always going to be some who thought this might be a good idea: Florentino Perez, John Henry, Joe Glazer, Andre Agnelli, and you know where they are now? Some of them are out on the street. If you're Ed Woodward, Andre Agnelli potentially, Florentino Perez next. John Henry, if we're lucky, will be out next as well. But
Yep. But for now, rejoice.
yes, glad to have watched it with you too. You have to let us know how to pronounce your name properly, Uzair. If we're pronouncing it correctly, let us know. Give us like a phonetic pronouncing it. After all this, could John Henry stay? Quick answer, Chris Chedu.
Yes.
No. Well then.
That's how I feel most ag. I feel like who would leave? Or if owners left, who could buy?
I think the owners will leave when there's a massive structural change in ownership in England.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Whenever the 50+1 rule happens.
Man United just announced that Ed Woodward is leaving role at the end of 2021.
There we go.
Ali, I can get behind that.
But yeah, whenever the 50+1 rule is implemented, I think that's when it's going to happen.
Or when any sort of governing rule on finances, whether that anything like that, we'll see the end of.
Today has been a good day for football, though. It has been progress. I think today we've seen a lot of good things, and I think there's Boris Johnson. All right, let's see the Boris Johnson.
Boris.
If he goes on about elitism, he can get in the mud.
Let me see what he said. He said, the decision by Chelsea and Manchester City is, if confirmed, absolutely the right one, and I commend them for it. I hope the other clubs involved in the European Super League will follow their lead.
Okay, Boris.
Corner taken quickly, Boris.
You know what? I am happy for Man United fans because at the end of the day, they're a great club. They have great history, and I want us to beat them on the field, not off the field. And they were beating themselves up off the field. I want them to have great players. I want us to have great players, and I want us to have great matches.
I don't want them to do well, but I want them to be there.
You know what? Actually, I find it better when the opposition is stronger. Like in my FM save, when I see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer get to the Champions League final only to lose it, I laugh a little bit inside.
Oh, boys, we're fantastic. That's my best impression.
I'm happy for United fans. And I don't like the closed shop. That was the big thing that I think everyone hated, was that it was not a competition. What Guardiola said, I think, was spot on. He had more time to think about it, get it through his head, and he said that he doesn't like a sport where you go into a match and there's no consequence if you lose. It's almost less potent if you win. But yeah, I'm glad that our players are getting the praise that they deserve for putting this out there, because it should not. The big scrap yesterday was between Gary Neville and Jurgen Klopp. Neville was said that you'll never walk alone. He made fun of it, but it was making fun of it in a sense that it wasn't the fans' fault. Klopp took offense to it.
Don't forget English is his first language as well.
Yeah, and also we talked about it yesterday that the reporter condensed Neville's statement, gave it to him, and it was just a bad back and forth. At the end of the day, they were both, I think, on the same page.
Tribus Super League statement. As the official globing timing partner of Liverpool FC and as a family dedicated of lifelong fans, Tribus Limited cannot support the move by the club's owners to break away into a new competition. Our values are at the forefront of everything we do. Therefore, we will be withdrawing from the partnership. Football belongs to the fans and unites us all. It's never intended to benefit the few.
Squawkwood News just tweeted, official, Manchester City have confirmed they have formally enacted the procedures to withdraw from the group developing plans for a European Super League. Well, look, right when you guys try and get off, the news just breaks out again.
There's so much.
Yeah, the tribe.
One thing real quick before we end. Probably the most important thing that's going to come out today. According to the greatest of all time, Conor McGregor, he's thinking about buying Manchester United.
The fork is dark.
I cannot imagine that this stays, that this survives.
It's done. It's mudded.
But there was the thing extra that UEFA admit today that they have an extra 4 billion euros available that they used to deny having. Basically, they kind of just forced UEFA to give them more money. Ultimately, that's what it all came down to. A club statement from Man City being tweeted. Man United announcing that Woodward's going down. The clubs are meeting right now, I believe, so that's probably why they're doing all these things. But man,
unbelievable.
Follow.
I'm gonna have to say my goodbyes.
Yes.
So
follow Transfer on Twitter for all your latest news about all this developments. But that's going to do it for our live stream here today. For myself, Jack, for Chris, for Chedu, we won. Football won. The fans won. And the bloody owners who tried to pull this shit on us did not. Proud of all our players, proud of our owners, and proud of us. We'll be back for more streams, more videos next few days. I hope we can return to normal content and not have to worry about this stupid league.
Real quick, Jack, just to remind everyone, get the channel to 740 subscribers for the kid video to come out. You want to see it.
Kit video comes out when the 740s hit.
LFC Transfer Room on all socials. That's going to do it for our stream today. For Chris, for Chedu, and myself, Jack, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.